First tonight, 80 years ago, 300 children who'd survived the horrors of the Holocaust found a place of sanctuary in the Lake District.
The Windermere children, as they became known, arrived in 1945 after a period of recuperation after being liberated from Nazi concentration camps at the end of the Second World War in Europe.
Today, some of them and their relatives returned to Windermere for a special event to mark the anniversary. Fiona Marley-Patterson was there.
Kaddish, the Jewish prayer to remember those who didn't survive Nazi Europe. Opening a garden at Lake School for the 300 Windermere children given a new life here when it was Calgarth Estate. Only 10 are still alive. 4 came today.
I was 3 years old and I only remember snatches. Everyone around us was talking this very strange language and you know, expected us to understand what was happening, and we didn't even know we'd been liberated. We thought, well, it was just changing one camp for another. We understood that we were going to be given proper food. I mean, we'd grown up in the camp really, and there was no provision here for us because nobody believed that young children would survive. So we were sort of miracle children in a way. You know, we were so used to caring for ourselves, we didn't feel the need for other people to look after us. I think they gave us a home when we most needed it. I mean, there was no home to go back to. All my family had gone. You know, just the freedom. And we were left to go wild for quite a while before we learnt some table manners. We learnt English a bit. We were pretty distrustful of grown-ups, and I think still am a bit.
I was fortunate enough to get fostered by 2 Jewish people in London, and then my adopted grandma told me I was Austrian. My life, you could say, changed from that time, searching for my past. My mother and my father apparently went on the same transport to a place called Malý-Trostenec, which is in Belarus, just near Minsk, and sadly you either arrived dead in a gas van or you arrived and you were put at the side of a pit and shot in there. Between 100,000 and 200,000 people had that terrible journey.
The day started with their descendants retracing their footsteps, imagining the peace, hope, safety loaded in these views.
I think coming here was a place of safety. I remember asking my aunt what did Windermere mean to her, and she talked about the beauty. She talked about the flowers. She'd seen certain flowers here. I don't know, there were hydrangeas or rhododendrons. She talked about the white bread. She'd never had white bread. She said it was like cake. Monique didn't talk about it a lot, but he said it was a very special healing place.
Windermere is now important to hundreds of families around the world, here for this special day, remembering that they can live because their ancestors arrived here 80 years ago.
And therefore, coming here is like finding the source of her own life. So she was signed off as being younger and healthy, which she wasn't. And after staying here for a short period of time, she had to go into a sanatorium here in England. So she would have died, definitely.
It's a universal story, and we need to think about tolerance and healing in such a difficult world.
When I tell my parents' story, I always tell them how my mother came from Germany in 1939 by boat over, you know, the English Channel and stuff like that. I think we need to remember to be humanitarian.
Yes, and she always taught that we have to remember what happened to us so that we can help others.
And then a service on the hope found here amongst so much trauma. Hope and sadness Windermere will never forget. Fiona Marley-Patterson, ITV News, Windermere.